welcome to Rendering Insights. In this video, we're going to be drawing the side view of a 65 Corvette. If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe down below. All right, this is the car we're going to be drawing. Really cool 65 Vet, nice wheels, sits nice and low, should be fun. We will do the line work in Illustrator and then bring that into Photoshop and build this rendering layer by layer. All right, let's go. Well, here we are in Adobe Illustrator. In order to draw our outline, we need a good reference photograph. In this case, my client had sent me some really good photographs of this build while it's in process. So we picked this side view, scanned it into Illustrator, put a mask over it, and then little by little with our pen tool, drew all the lines of the car, just all the critical lines, even some of this undercarriage in here, and went ahead and slammed it. He also sent me pictures of the wheels he's going to use, these really cool forged wheels. So we had those already to work with. So we put those in, drew those also. So on this layer, this line layer, we have everything. So this is going to make this part of it anyway very easy. Once we're in Photoshop, not so much, but here we go. All right, let's take this, bring it into Photoshop, and put our color on. Okay, we have brought our line work into Photoshop. So to start with, we're going to go ahead and make 4 copies of this layer. So on the right, drag it down to that plus sign, make 4 copies. All right, on the very first layer, the bottom layer, we're going to go ahead and do a white fill in here. That will give us a good foundation for building our colors on top of. And in this case, we're going to use a lot of this white to peek through, and we'll use it for highlights as we go. All right, on our next line layer, we'll go ahead and open that up. And in this case, the customer is going to be painting this car a real rich, almost champagne warm gray color. So let's start building that color. So on the side, what we've done is grab our magic wand tool and selected this lower front fender, lower part of the door, and this rocker and back here, and start brushing in this color. It's pretty solid up on top, but you can see down below we've left a little bit of the white there, whether that's a reflection of the ground or a little highlight, just something to start our rendering. So we're going to brush up against this panel in here, but not fill it all the way in. Okay, and then again, selecting this upper part of this front fender, the top part of this door, and back here, get your paintbrush tool and make it small and just brush in here real lightly, building this up slowly. This gray in here, down here, and letting that run out. Being careful not to fill in down against our line here and killing our highlights. Again, being real careful. We want these highlights in here. It's a real tricky body shape to render. And then against the top, we can actually, you're brushing up here and just letting it spill over into these selected areas. Okay. On our glass, same thing, selecting this glass one at a time, getting here with some black and just brushing in here real lightly, being careful not to cover up our highlights on top. Same on the side, these 2 areas, and just brush in here, leaving this white up here. Same with the back glass. Normally, we would make these tires a little darker to start with, but because of the car color, we want to warm this up just a little bit. So we started with this kind of a light brown color in here, and then we'll throw black on it later. But this is a good place to start. And these wheels that he selected are these really cool, deep bronze forged wheels. So we're going to start with this kind of a tan color in here, and then we'll darken these up as we go. Okay, on our next line layer, we're going to throw some black on this thing and start richening it up. Again, what we've done, selecting these same panels with our black, start brushing in here real lightly up above. We're not adding anything down below, just up above. We're just exaggerating the contrast between the top of this body line and the bottom. Okay? And we're kind of duplicating what we did before. It's just getting a little darker. We're just kind of creeping up on it little by little. Look along the back of this ridge. See what we're doing back here? And on the glass, again, we're kind of duplicating what we did before, just making it darker. And look what we did on our tires and wheels. And get in a little closer here. Selecting these layers, these rings, one at a time, and with your brush tool and your black, you can just start rendering these. See, on this one, it went real dark on the bottom, which would be low. We have shadows up here, but be careful not to make this too dark in here. And on this upper one, we have the shape of this tire in here up against our rim. So left this lighter in here, and then dark in here, blasted it because it would be in the shadows. And just start doing some shading, layer by layer, section by section in here, just picking these areas and render this thing. Okay, that makes sense? Okay. On our next layer, it's not a line layer. We're just going to put another, open another layer and put it right on top. On these Corvette shapes, these body lines, there's a weird little crease in here. I shouldn't say weird, but it's very difficult to render. And it's actually a little crease in the body up here. So we're going to start playing with that. And it looks really strange on here right now. But literally what I'm doing is taking the brush tool and brushing in, because this is what my main focus is, this highlight here. I'm brushing in this black in this area here and up above, and then getting my eraser tool and erasing down below and kind of creating this line in here. It's harsh. There is a line there, but we're going to soften it up as we go. All right, same on the back. Kind of focuses like down here, brushing this in, erasing it down here. Show you what that does. Okay. There really is, it's not a hard crease, but it's a pretty drastic line that's created in here, and there is some light changes that happen. All right, on our next line layer, we'll go back and play with that, but our next line layer, we're going to put some more black in this. Okay, again, selecting these sections, brushing in more black. Contrast is everything when we're doing rendering. So we're little by little, we're creeping up on it. Again, look at our wheels. Selecting these areas and starting to shade up in here. So it looks like these wheels and tires are tucked under these fenders, under these wheel wells. Okay. On our last line layer, we're going to keep playing with some more shadows. See what we've done on these side vents in here? Just selected those and just put a little more shadow in there, because there would be pretty drastic shadow underneath here. And again, up in these crazy shapes we have, this layer helps us to make this not so drastic. Look on the back here. Selecting that layer, we can brush in here and starting to blend and starting to bring all that together. And up on the front, see this area in here? It helps make that make a little more sense. Okay. That's the last of our line layers. Now on another top layer, we just opened up another layer, and we need to do a little more detail work in here to make these transitions make a little more believable. So in this layer, I just start brushing in some black, some transition color in here from the top of the door down to this fender, and a few other little things in here. See that? Again, this is not an easy car to illustrate at all. On this layer, we also started playing with some white in here. Again, there is a line here. There is a distinctive line. We don't want to make a hard black line, but we want to just allude that there's something going on in here. So created this highlight on top and just brushed in a little bit of white in here. And it just helps cover up how drastic that is up in the front, and just helps to make you not worry about what's going on so much. A little bit more shading on the next layer. Just a little bit of shading down here to soften this transition. See that? That's the beauty of Photoshop. You can build in layers, open up another one, start playing. If you like it, keep it. If you don't, dump it. It's cool. All right. One more layer, we're going to put in some highlights on top. Okay, these little warm spots. See what that does? Right up by the glass, up on top. Just a few places to make this come alive a little bit, and really made a difference. See that? All right. Well, there's our basic car rendering. Now for a background, this car, I don't know, it just needed something in the background to make this thing come alive. So let's go ahead and put a white cover to start with. And then let's do this in a couple sections here. We're going to do like a black charcoal fade from down below. Okay, this is a start with. And then from the top part, we're going to do a gradation, starting with a blue and then fading out to a white. Okay, I just like that combination of shading for this car, for the background. All right, well, there's my take on a side view on a 65 Corvette. Well, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful in any way, please check out our other videos available on Rendering Insights.